So Star Wars Andor Season 2 is about to get very, very dark, and it might be the darkest side of Star Wars that we've seen since Episode 3 when Anakin slaughtered the younglings. Showrunner Tony Gilroy for Andor 1 and Andor Season 2 just confirmed that the Ghorman Massacre is going to play a very significant role in Andor Season 2. The Ghorman Massacre, if you didn't know, was one of the biggest turning points for the Empire, showing just how cruel and scary they actually were. But let's take a look at a deeper dive of the events of the Ghorman Massacre. It was one of the earliest and most infamous acts of Imperial cruelty. It was first introduced back in 1990 in the Rebel Alliance sourcebook, and over the years, it became a defining moment in Star Wars history, one that played a key role in the formation of the Rebel Alliance. But what exactly happened on Ghorman, and why is it actually so important, especially with Andor Season 2? The people of Ghorman were suffering under the Empire's oppressive new tax policies. Their livelihoods were being crushed, their futures stolen by an empire who ruled with an iron fist, but instead of submitting, they chose to resist. Peacefully. A massive crowd gathered at the spaceport using their bodies to block the landing platform. They weren't armed, they weren't attacking, they simply stood in defiance, hoping to send a message to the Empire that enough was enough. Enter Tarkin, an ambitious officer already gaining favor with the Emperor. When he arrived at Ghorman, he was met with a simple choice: acknowledge the protest and negotiate, or respond with force. And we all know who Tarkin is, the kind of man he was, and he was not a man of patience at all. Without hesitation, he ordered his ship to land directly on the protesters. No warnings, no mercy, and thousands of people were crushed by the weight of an Imperial transport ship, their lives snuffed out in an instant. To the Empire, it was an example of absolute control, but to the galaxy, it was a tragedy that could not be ignored. It looks like in Andor Season 2 from the special looks trailer, and also from what Tony Gilroy is saying, is we are going to see the people on the planet of Ghorman, and we're going to see the Ghorman Massacre take place in live action by Tarkin himself. So that should be a very interesting scene. It's a very, very dark scene for especially Disney Star Wars, and I do think it might be the darkest scene that we're going to see since Anakin slaughtered the younglings. Now, we're not entirely sure how they're going to show this scene. I don't know if they're actually going to show people being crushed by the ship, but I do think it's going to show the brutality of Tarkin himself and just the overall sense of desire from the people, with the Empire just kind of raining down on them, just crushing them and ruining their lives essentially. Just taking absolute control. And overall, my thoughts on it being shown in Andor Season 2, it's just like, is Disney going the darker route? Are they going to be able to show these types of things from now on? Are they trying to get a little riskier with the shows and with the audience as well? Are they taking notes from what the audience wants to see? Obviously, at these times, the Empire is a real threat to not only the rebellion, but to the people. And I think Tony Gilroy will do a great job with this, just like how he showed how just dark and devastating Darth Vader was at the end of Rogue One. It was a whole different side of Vader that we've never really seen in live action. So I'm looking forward to seeing a whole different side of the Empire that we've never really seen in live action as well. I think that he will do a great job with this scene, and I do really think it's going to be one of those everlasting Star Wars scenes that, we talk about for a very, very long time in the fan base. So I'm personally looking forward to it. It's going to be a very devastating scene, I'm sure. But I think this is a good direction for Disney to take Star Wars in, because we do want to see the real results of war in Star Wars. After all, it is called Star Wars. So personally, I'm looking forward to Disney taking this darker route, this edgier route for Star Wars, because I do think it's a better result for fans overall. And I am really, really looking forward to Andor Season 2. So thank you all for watching this video. I hope you learned something new today, and I'll see you in the next one.